Hello, everybody. RWBY, Volume 5, Episode 9.
Yeah,
I forget what this one was
it's
called, except it has a kind of disappointing thumbnail.
a perfect storm.
There you go. Okay. So, first things first, that thumbnail, I don't know whether it's going to be the same on the YouTube video, but on the Rooster Teeth site, it's a picture of Cinder doing her maiden thing. You
Mm-hmm.
remember when that looked cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, I'm not entirely sure why they decided to change that. Because,
I don't know.
like, originally, I have to assume it was a limitation of the animation engine they were running. And it was just,
Mm-hmm.
like, it kind of looked like fire, but it also kind of didn't and still looked like an eye. But it was yellow and black, so it was kind of like she had an oil lamp burning in front of her face with a black hole in the middle of it. It was inhuman, and I think that was what they really should have stuck with. It should look otherworldly. Now it's just her eyes are on fire.
Yeah. So the first 10 minutes of this episode are all about Cinder and friends coming over to Raven and saying, "Hey, Raven, you should work for us. Otherwise, Big Mommy Salem's gonna get mad."
Hey, you know what this season needed more of? Raven.
Talking.
Also that, but Raven. Well, I mean, this isn't quite the same as just sitting down, relaxing, decompressing talking. This is standoff talking. This is
There's
a confrontation.
there's standoff negotiations, and then they start talking about their plans.
Hmm.
I feel like when you're writing from the villain side, the one thing you should not show the person watching the show is all the villain's plans. Just let us figure that out from the hero side.
I mean, yeah, uh, there's something to be said for that. A lot of the payoff from season 3 was all of Cinder's plans coming together, and you started to see the big picture of what she was working towards.
Yeah,
That being said, they've also already done that bit. So, with the audience being allowed to see the villain's plans, that's because the heroes, so to speak, already largely know what those plans are. Like, Blake knows that the White Fang are gonna invade Haven, so that she's trying to stop
yeah.
that. Crow and Ruby and everybody else know that Salem wants the relic, so they're going to try and defend Haven, and they know that they're going to try and get at Raven, so they're seeing what they can do about that. They know that Lionheart is offside, so they know all of this stuff that the villains are expositing right now. So it's
It's
not
just
really a problem that the audience would know as well.
I feel like that there's a lot of reiterating what we already know.
That
Uh,
is a problem, I'll agree.
that's kind of what I meant by that.
Mm.
Uh, because this is a 10 minute. This is most of the episode. This is 10 minutes of these conversations, and Raven being like, "Yeah, we're totally going to betray them." Uh,
Yeah, so
I
we
feel like
have...
it could have been five.
That's basically something we'll get to that. So Mercury makes an appearance, basically gets shit on, and makes no further contribution to the episode. That was a thing.
Hmm.
Um, Watts is still great and probably partially saves this scene.
Yeah, Watts is still good.
Yeah, he's solid. I mean, it's still Chris Sabat, so the voice acting is still great. The writing for him is pretty solid. Like, he is trying to keep Cinder in line for what she's actually supposed to be doing because she's going a little bit rogue here
Mm-hmm.
and trying to keep everyone focused and on track when none of them want to be. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, it works.
Raven's like, I'll help you guys attack the academy, but we gotta kill Crow. And Watts is like, this is idiotic. We want to get this done without any problems. We have Leo in there, our good friend Leo, who's just gonna let us walk right in.
So you want to
If we-
assassinate someone in the middle of Haven and cause a big kerfuffle. Like, it's not going to be quiet if we try and kill Crow. Like, even aside from the fact that it's just Crow that you want to kill, his students are not going to stand idly by and let you do that.
And Raven's like, if we all team up on him, it'll be no. That's counterpoint to what we're trying to do. So
Yeah. So, he's still a good character, which I'm glad there's still one of those.
yeah, in the scene.
We also get Vernal. I also like the hypocrisy, by the way. Raven says, "Oh, Cinderfall, that's cute because you're the Fall Maiden. It's almost like you picked that name yourself. Isn't that right, Vernal, who is the Spring Maiden?"
Isn't that right, Raven, who turns into a raven?
Yeah. So, cute. But also kind of lampshades how you're not... I was about to go a little mean, but it's kind of driving me there as the show. So yeah, we have Vernal showing off her power as the Spring Maiden, which I was kind of expecting, okay, she's going to do something. They're basically inviting her to make the circumstances more favorable for Raven and Vernal if things break out into a fight. They apparently decided not to take advantage of that opportunity, and Vernal showing off of her powers, which doesn't have the glowy eyes thing that Cinder does. She basically has no indication that she's using it whatsoever, is to make it overcast. Make it cloudy.
Yeah.
Cool.
That sure is a cool use of your power.
Maybe the sun was getting in your eyes and you wanted to deal with that in case a fight broke out, I guess.
There's a level of subtlety that could be right there in this kind of standoff that's just not.
Like, even then, I was like, okay, she's making it oh, she's making it stormy. She's gonna have like a lightning strike near the villains, and that's gonna...
Yeah.
No? No?
No.
Okay. Never mind then. You know,
Nope.
So, that's pretty much that scene. They sort of agree to do all that as long as Crow gets offed because Cinder's a dumbass and really wants to kill RWBY. Like, as soon as someone points out that if we're killing Crow, then RWBY's going to involve herself, she's like, oh, well, that's a problem we can deal with.
Hey, remember when Salem said to not do that because she literally has your one weakness?
Shut up, Watts, I'm doing the negotiating.
Because that would be Watts who says that. Because Watts is the one who actually thinks in this scene.
Yeah.
And so we go back to, like, Ravens and her...
We also do get a hint that Watts is kind of a mechanist type character.
Yeah.
Because she says...
Actually, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once, like... And they also say, oh yeah, and Salem will completely ignore you if you help us out with this. And you'll be golden to keep doing as you do. And and afterwards, Raven's like, yeah, they're not going to just do that. So once we get eyes on that artifact, we're taking it for ourselves.
And that will have Salem leave us alone. Wait.
I think it's more like they'll have some way to fight against Salem or something, but I think it's stupid.
Leads to its own problems in the writing. Like, okay, we know there are 4 relics. They
Yes.
are creation, destruction, knowledge, and the other one. So, the one they're going after is the artifact of knowledge. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
What do the artifacts do exactly? Has anyone mentioned? Has anyone mentioned knowing what the artifacts actually do?
I'd assume knowledge would be something related to maybe foresight or something. That's the only way I could see it being relatively useful.
That's nice. It would be nice if that's what it does. It would also be nice if it didn't require all four of the artifacts being collected together, which might be the case. It would also be nice if it wasn't something entirely useless, like just giving knowledge. Like, knowledge is power. Great. It's not really knowledge is power, though. It's knowledge leads to power, so it takes time. So, while you're trying to figure out what to do with this artifact that is super powerful, that Salem really, 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 really wants, you can just sit and figure out what exactly you're supposed to do with this supposedly super powerful thing while you have an army at your door. Fun times! Good job, Raven. You have a good plan there. I like that.
We could get that Raven's going to betray them without even a scene showing it, I feel.
Yeah. It was an unnecessary scene, and her backup plan is shit. So,
Yeah.
we didn't really need more evidence of Raven being incredibly stupid either.
Like I said, like you could cut down this whole 10-minute set of scenes covering everything at the bandit camp down to half the time by removing what's unnecessary, and you could have a much more they're getting plans, they're working together, stuff's happening scene, like a much stronger version of that. That is hard to criticize because it doesn't drag on for as long. So
hard to criticize because
Yeah.
we don't know what Raven's backup plan is. Like, I would have expected, I wouldn't have expected, but a smarter backup plan would have been, hey, Vernal, it's you that they want, so maybe you go into hiding or something and leave in this... Oh, I guess I should just leave you alone to do your own thing for the next couple of days while we're just sort of waiting for this attack to happen. Yep, you do what you feel like you should do right now. I don't know, take a walk to another country or something. That'd be good. Because if that would happen, then at the very least, Raven has nothing to offer them anymore. So is entirely unimportant. And they know she'll stay on the sidelines. So theoretically, practically is a different story, but theoretically, she might come out of this unscathed for the time being. But this plan that she has is literally painting a target on her face.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't see how this is good. No, it doesn't make...
Well, Raven is full of good ideas. Like when she decided to get upset at Ozpin because he gave her a superpower and then run away and then leave her daughter.
Yeah. So, that's so Raven, right? It's a joke.
Yeah. It's the future I can see with this new artifact.
So, that was them. I'm sure there was some... Oh, yeah. It was Blake and Son.
Yeah.
Gira.
So guess what happens in the Blake scene?
There is a very low-energy fight scene.
Nothing happens. Oh, and also, guess what? Oscar comes into Crow's room. We cut away, and he's like, "Hey, Ozpin wants to talk to you."
Oh God!
And then
they don't need
Blake,
to cliffhanger the fucking talking scenes.
And then Blake goes, and she finds Ilya, and she's looking for her mom, and now she's gonna fight Ilya. Boy, is that gonna there might actually be an okay. No, um, I can't even say there's going to be an okay fight scene. After
When
when they
was the
decide to
last
flip over
okay
a tape,
fight scene?
um,
Like,
earlier in the season,
the Weiss one
when what?
also was her just kind of standing there for most of it.
Yeah, but there was a chase with
I
like
guess?
the setting of that was more interesting than the actual fight choreography of her firing magic out of a airship while they're being chased.
Yeah.
And then she
She's...
summoned that knight that did that cool thing where he jumped out and he sliced the thing.
Yeah. The knight did a cool thing. She didn't. So...
Yeah.
Hmm.
So hmm.
I'm starting to wonder who's doing the fight choreography now. Because... Oh,
I'm
boy.
I'm thinking it's nobody at this point,
Hmm.
and that's why we have so many talking scenes.
Yeah. So... yeah, Ilya and Blake are probably gonna fight, and it's... I want to be hopeful. I do. Um.
It's
So
gonna be an emotional talk while fighting.
they'll talk with their whip swords. Because
Yeah.
they both have those. It's funny. Um.
Yeah.
So at this point, I feel like it's worthwhile to bring up the three-act structure that they are desperately, desperately clinging to at this point.
Yeah. Like we both thought it was stupid to begin with.
It's not endearing itself right now.
It's extremely limiting.
It feels like they are just padding this season out to all hell just to make this three-act structure thing
Yeah.
that they are
And
so beholden to.
it's ruining the pacing because they don't have enough there. They really don't. So they just do more and more talking scenes, most of which are unnecessary or poorly written, um, or both. And you end up with a situation in which you could have made this season as a transitionary season, maybe 9 episodes instead of the full like 13 they're going for, and had much more stuff happening. There'd still be problems, but you'd get more stuff happening.
Hmm. Like, if they wanted to do the training arc thing that they really apparently wanted to do for a little bit, and then decided against it halfway through, maybe go out into the wilderness, fight some Grim. That seems like a viable use of your time training in actual
Yeah.
combat scenarios.
Maybe meet some other characters, some huntsmen from the academy.
I wonder what what's his name is doing. Blue hair. Neptune. That was
Yeah.
it. He's in Haven. Wonder what he's up to. And the other two. Sage and Scarlet, that was it. Yeah, they're in Haven.
Boy, there's actually things you can do in Haven if you think about it.
It's almost like maybe they should have designed the environment instead of giving us fucking concept art at the beginning to show what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. And maybe they should have just given us concept art for the bandit camp instead of a full environment.
Yeah, that was entirely wasted. Because you remember the order that she gives now? Back it up, we're leaving. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that environment you used for 2 scenes. 2 scenes. Yeah. There is so much pointless stuff in this season, and I want them to stop. And I want them to step back and reflect and ask themselves, where the fuck are we actually taking this story? Because I feel like they've kind of forgotten that a little bit. Like, It's getting a lot meandering and directionless and just kind of flowing from scene to scene with no real impact on anything at any point.
Yeah,
It's
it's
wasting the audience's time.
it is,
It's not even
and
interesting meandering. It's just like for writers like us that are literally just writing and can pace the story as we like because there is no structure, there is just writing. That's fine. But if you're going to like attach yourself so strongly to a very set pace for how you're going to tell your story, you're going to have 3 seasons. They're all going to be about 12 episodes each, and they're going to be maybe 10 to 15, maybe 20 an outside shot episode minutes long per episode. That gives you a very specific amount of time. You need to fill that amount of time with worthwhile content. Otherwise, it's literally just padding, and then you need to reevaluate why you're using the 3-act structure, the 3-season structure in the first place.
it worked in the beginning, right? And so I guess the mentality is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the reason why it worked in the beginning was because you had all these characters in the school setting, and then finally they all got out of that school setting.
Yeah. It worked because it was new. It was introducing things.
Yes.
This... I don't think it's added anything particularly... Like, Oscar was new. That was interesting. Watts. Leo. Not that he's done much at all, ever.
Yeah.
I guess Salem. And Tyrion.
But at the same time, especially in this season, they have a lot of characters that they're not using.
Yeah. It's...
Again, what's up with Neptune?
Yeah.
What's up with
their team? They're just kind of apparently bumming around Mistral for no reason, and I assume wondering where their team leader is.
What about Coco and Velvet's team? What are they doing? Maybe that would be able to... Maybe we could cut to them and learn maybe something new about Salem from what they're doing.
What's happening at Vale?
Yeah. What's happening at Vale? What's Glinda doing?
We have... Well, they can't really do Glinda because...
well, no, not Glinda, but yeah, she's...
Kathleen Welsh left the company. She's not...
Oh.
So I don't think they can anymore. But...
okay.
Literally all the rest of the cast, like Oobleck and Port, what are they doing? How is the rebuilding effort going? Have they managed to drive the Grimm out of Beacon at all? Like, have they even made a dent? This is all stuff that they could be addressing, and
the world is bigger than Mistral, and it's bigger than Mistral and Menagerie, and there's stuff that could be happening in other places so that you keep things in interesting like if you're going to keep doing conversations, sure, whatever, but you can keep interesting conversations happening if you focus on other characters rather than retreading the same ground over and over and over again. And if you want some fight scenes, maybe you're in a place in the story where you can have lots of fight scenes. Well, you have Coco and Velvet's team out there, and they're probably on a mission trying to figure out what's going on, trying to help out Vale. And then you learn a little bit more about Vale, you learn more about what's going on over there. You keep the story going.
Yeah, just... I get that they're trying to be like, okay, the world's bigger than just Vale, so the characters are moving out of Vale, and they're doing different things. That's nice. You've expanded the world. Vale's still in that world, and still kind of important. It's still one of the 4 kingdoms. There's still a lot of characters that we like that are still in Vale. And we'd kind of be okay with finding out what's going on there.
You've expanded the world and then shrunk it again.
Yeah.
So the world doesn't feel...
It's like zoom out and zoom in somewhere else, and then that's it. Everything else is completely unimportant.
It's like these are video game levels, not real places. You're not going back to the tutorial anytime soon. Haha. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, we got onto a rant there, but
It's just
I
they could be
think,
doing better things with the time that they have. That's
yeah.
all.
And the more problems we run into as we get into this series, the more it's going to highlight other problems, and the more we're going to end up ranting. So,
Yeah, I hate to say it, I think we've hit story collapse for RWBY at this point. Like, at some point, after seeing floor after floor after floor, you start losing immersion into the story. You stop seeing it as just, okay, I'm watching a show. But, okay, I'm engaged, so I'm interested in what's happening, so I'm just going to keep watching and just, yeah, I'm invested. But as you start to see the flaws and they keep cropping up, you stop being invested in the story and just start looking for more flaws. And you start unraveling it and unraveling it and unraveling it. And eventually that's all the story ends up being, is just a pile of flaws and broken
yeah.
interest. Ooh, there's an idea for a new show title.
I was going to suggest losing interest. Losing interest or broken interest. Let's change the title because
Yeah. As
we
I keep saying, full interest is really disingenuous at this point.
yeah, like once you hit story collapse like this, there's no climbing out of that hole, really. Unless they would need like every single episode after this to be like perfect, I guess. And even then, that wouldn't save the show or anything. That would just make us not as surly.
Just something to drive the plot forward. Something. Like,
Like,
it. They were doing character stories in season 4. Fair enough. Season 4's over, so maybe drive the plot forward a little bit instead of just plodding along with these character stories that you've already wrapped up in the previous season. Like, at some point you need to move on from that stuff and just get back to telling the story that these characters are supposedly a part of.
my connection's kind of.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Alright, I think it's safe to say that we're calling an end to the episode there. I don't know whether this is going to come through in the video. We're going to see how that happens, and we're going to see what... Yeah, but I think we've ranted enough. That's pretty much the episode, and our ranting for the day.
what am I?
Yeah, you've...
Super dumb.
I've just been doing an outro for this entire time.
Like,
Uh,
just
so-
please, just end this. So
Yeah.
I don't know if my family started streaming a movie or what, but
Yeah, so the camera's just flashing in and out on my AVR recording. So, yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. I'm going to double check
Yeah.
this recording to make sure that it worked out properly and such. So, bye everybody.
Bye.